Can I trade my way from an initial £20 investment up to a black opal by buying and selling gemstones? Let's find out. Now, before I get into talking about the actual trading of the gemstones, the process of buying and selling them, I thought I'd go through and give some context to this actual video and why I decided to go on this little gem trading escapade. The reason is I've wanted a black opal for years. It's one of my favorite gemstones, and there's a couple of reasons for it. The first one is they are absolutely stunning. When you see a black opal with a good play of color, they are amazing to look at. And the second reason is black opals are unique. Every single stone is completely unique. You'll never find two matching black opals. This is because each one has its own characteristics that makes it stand out from other stones. And I absolutely love this combination, and I just think they are one of the best gemstones in the world. And being an avid viewer of the Black Opal Direct channel made me just want one of these stones even more, because I didn't have one in my collection and I thought it was about time I added one. So that's why I decided to start this. But how did I come up with the initial £20? Because that seems like a bit of a random amount. Well, if we go back to Christmas 2021, my sister asked me, what do I want for Christmas? And I said, I'd love some money towards a black opal. And for Christmas, my lovely sister gave me £20. So thanks, sis. And I could have quite easily just put this with my own money and gone and bought myself a black opal, but that's boring, and I like to set myself challenges. I don't know why that is, I just love setting myself challenges. So I thought, can I trade my way from that initial £20 up to a black opal by buying and selling gemstones? Interesting challenge. And I also thought, why not document it? Because, well, I've got a YouTube channel and I absolutely love watching videos where people try and trade up with things. It's one of my favorite types of content that I watch on YouTube. So I'm kind of hoping that if people enjoy watching those videos, they might enjoy watching these videos, or this video. I can't but hope, right? So I decided to take that initial £20 and put it towards trading towards a black opal. Now, when it comes to the stone itself, I do have some requirements. Number one, it's got to be Australian, because I think Australian opals are the best. Number two, it's got to be black, obviously. Number three, it's got to weigh at least 1 carat, because I want to be able to see the stone. And number four, I would like to have a minimum of a green and blue color flash, because I like it when stones have got multiple colors going on in the stone. So I would like to have a minimum of a green and a blue color flash. So those are the requirements for the stone. Now let's get talking about the trading. So trade number one was buying a parcel of 50 gemstones, and I bought these for £19. This was a mixed lot that had come out of scrap jewelry. And I like these because there's always like a risk and reward factor there, because I always buy these just off the pictures, and there's stones that I think there might be in there, but you never know until you actually get the stones. So this was a lot of 50 mixed stones from scrap jewelry that I paid £19 for. Now, when it comes to sales on these, I did pretty well out of it, because there was some really nice stones in there, and I managed to generate 3 sales for a total return of £69.13, which is a pretty good return on an initial £19 investment. Well, I think so, at least. Better than what I'd get in the stock market, that's for sure. So, trade number two. I kind of bent the rules on trade number two a little bit. The reason is I saw a huge lot of stones for sale, but they was up for £145. Well, I negotiated a price of £145 on them. So what I did was I took the money I had from the sales from the first lot, and I also used my credit card to kind of bridge the gap, so to speak, to buy this lot. But I did set myself a parameter for using my credit card. I had to get the money back before my credit card statement come in. That was the guide. So I bought this lot, and I'll be honest, I had buyer's remorse on this one, because when I got them and I started sorting through them, I realized that most of the stones were actually synthetic. There was lots of synthetic rubies, sapphires, spinel. There's also some amethyst and some smoky quartz in there as well. Now, on the face of it, I bought a lot of stones here, but I did have some buyer's regret, because I know that synthetics can be quite a hard sell. Having bought and sold quite a few stones in the past, I know that synthetics are quite a hard sell. But I managed to do quite well when it comes to sales on this one, because I managed to get 13 sales, bringing in a total of £312.61. So more than doubling my money, and I still had some stones left over from this lot that wasn't selling every single stone. So pretty good deal, even though I did have that initial buyer's remorse. Then it went on to trade number three. Now, trade number three was a big buy because I spent £230 on a lot of over 600 gemstones. Now these had all come from scrap jewellery. It was actually the same supplier that I bought the first lot of stones from, and I decided to make an offer on all the stones that they had available and bought them for £230. Now this was actually more of a risk than the second trade because once again I didn't know what I was getting, and out of these 600 plus stones, only around 250 to maximum 300 were actually saleable. There was lots of rubbish in there, lots of damaged stones, lots of crystals and things like that that are just not worth anything, lots of glass. Now I do have to admit that there were a couple of stones from this big lot that did end up making their way into my own personal collection. I'm a gemologist, and it's part of the joys of buying and selling gemstones is you get to add stones to your own personal collection. Now the main one of these was a cat's eye quartz. I don't own a cat's eye stone. Well, I didn't own a cat's eye stone, so this one was definitely going into my own collection. There was a couple of others as well, but this was the one that really stood out to me. But of the stones that I did have remaining, there were some really good ones in there. Nothing extraordinarily valuable, but a nice selection of stones, and stones that are pretty easy to sell on. And from that one I had a total of 7 sales, bringing me a total of £340 and 15 pence, which gave me a total kitty after doing all that of £347 and 89 pence. Now I don't know about you, but I think that having nearly £350 in the bank for an initial £20 investment over a 2-month period is a pretty good return, especially considering the fact that I'm doing this as a bit of a side hustle. This isn't my main job, this is a bit of a side hustle, so a pretty good return on that one. Even more so considering the fact that I haven't sold all of the gemstones. I've still got a load left over, which should net me even more profit on these stones, which I'm going to be very happy about. I've just got to get around to selling them. So that's the deal. That's where I got to. I was up to around about £350, and it was at this point it was time to start looking for opals. And the stone that I actually ended up buying was actually available for sale before I actually began this gem trading escapade. And it was actually a bit of an inspiration for it because I saw it for sale and I thought that's the kind of stone I'd like to buy. So it was kind of a bit of an inspiration to start trading. Now initially it was up for sale for £159, but as I started going through and trading all these different stones, the price was dropping because I kept my eye on the stone, and it dropped from 159 down to 139, down to 115, then down to 85. And it dropped down to 85 after I just had the 7th sale from that 600 lot of stones. So I had money in the bank and I saw that this stone had dropped to £85. It was time to make an offer. Now I made what I thought was a bit of a cheeky offer in at £65, and the seller accepted it, which quite surprised me, to be honest. I was expecting a counter offer. But instead of being really happy that I got the stone for £65, my initial thought, and I don't know whether this is just because I'm a bit of a wheeler dealer, was how much could I have got the stone for? Would they have accepted 50, 55, 60? I will obviously never know. But they accepted £65, which I thought was a really cheeky offer, to be honest. Now this stone did have postage as well, so all in all this stone cost me a total of £71, which I still think is really cheap. And it ticks 3 of the 4 boxes because it's Australian, it weighs 1.1 carats, and it's got a green and blue colour flash, which I'm really happy with. It's a very, very nice looking stone, and it's quite difficult to get it across on camera how nice this stone actually is. But the only thing is the black. Is it a black opal? Well, it's not a solid black opal, that's a fact. But I think this might be a black crystal opal. But unfortunately at the moment I don't have the grading chart for opals, so you can grade how dark the body tone of the stone is. But it is a very, very dark crystal opal, and I think it could be a black crystal opal, which would mean it's basically just as rare as black opals, and it is an absolutely beautiful stone. So I've just got to get myself the color grading chart to actually check this stone, but at the moment I'm happy with kind of like the 3.5 out of 4 that I've got on the parameters that I set. It's an absolutely beautiful stone, and for £71 I'm really happy with it because I think this is worth way more than that. I probably think it's a £150 to £200 stone, somewhere where it was initially advertised for. So that left me with quite a bit of money in the kitty, quite a few gemstones to sell. So what's next? Well, I've already bought more stones. I bought a lot of 500 stones for £190, and there's a reason for this, because I want to carry on trading because I'm planning on relaunching my jewelry business, because between 2012 and 2019, Hayward's Jewelry was a jewelry retailer. I used to buy and sell jewelry. Now I want to start doing my own jewelry because I've been learning how to set stones, and I want to combine these skills, the gemology. I'm also learning how to design jewelry as well, combine all these skills and relaunch my jewelry business. And I think these stones are a great starting point because I've set some of the better ones aside for myself, some of the ones that I really like, which I think will make absolutely stunning jewelry pieces. So that's the next step, I think, is to relaunch Hayward's Jewelry, to still buy and sell some stones because it will help fund the business, but focus on basically building the jewelry side back up. That's the plan anyway. I'm really excited about it. I'm also really nervous about it as well, but I'm going to be launching it in the way I wish I launched it the first time round, because I've got a plan in my head which sometimes can be dangerous, but hopefully it's going to work out really well this time. So that's the next step. Still going to be buying and selling gemstones, but hopefully relaunching my jewelry brand as well. So super excited, but super nervous as well, especially with everything that's going on in the world. Possibly not the best time to be looking to relaunch a jewelry brand. So that has been the Opal trading series, starting with £20, trading my way up to nearly £350 in terms of money I had in the bank, and then spending 71 of that on a gorgeous black-ish at the moment opal. Could turn out to be a black opal. I just need to get it checked. So I'm really happy with this series. I've absolutely loved it. It's been great getting back to buying and selling gemstones, something I hadn't done for a while. And it also got me looking at stones again as well, which as a gemologist, of course, I absolutely love to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it interesting and possibly inspirational. I don't know, to go and try your own trading series, maybe with gemstones, maybe not with gemstones, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you have, a like would be absolutely awesome because it does help the channel out with the almighty YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Stay awesome, and I will see you in the next one.